At 12-pack cans of Sundrop products for only $3.99. Buy two 12-packs for $7 or get three 12-packs for just $10 at the Falston Pharmacy. Use their convenient drive-through window located on Highway 18 North in Falston.
These days, it seems like many companies are more focused on making things cheaper by reducing quality, performance, and reliability, while at the same time increasing their bottom line at the expense of you, the consumer. This is not our philosophy. At SCAG, we are constantly looking for new and innovative ways to improve our products and deliver increased productivity. See the good selection of SCAG products, including Moore's, at Elliott Supply, your sales and service dealer for SCAG in Cleveland County. Elliott Supply, Highway 182 in Polkville.
Your sports leader is Big O Country, 1390 AM WOHS in Shelby, 1590 AM WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 1050 AM WLO in Lincoln, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to the Marburger Auto Post-Game Show. Marburger is your Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan dealer in Shelby. This is Lewis Carpenter along with Dennis Davis and Tom Senafani, and I believe Tom's got something he wants to say. Tom?
Well, I think I've just seen the best high school football game I've ever seen.
I guarantee it was close, wasn't it?
If you're a Burns Bulldogs fan, if you're a Kings Mountain Mountaineer fan, you're probably wanting to listen to a little Hank Williams Jr. tonight because you're a little sad after that one.
There's a tear in my beer.
There
you go.
I'm crying for.
Yeah.
I mean, those Kings Mountain folks. Greg Lloyd, my good friend and classmate from 1992, great guy. I just feel
great coach.
I mean, great guy and great coach. Feel sorry for you, Coach Lloyd, but Matt Beam pulled a rabbit out of the hat. 4th and 10.
Yeah.
4th and 10.
On his own 20.
On his own 20, we get a 39-yard pass. First down. Then Chris Montgomery takes over.
Right.
Couple of nice runs. And I think just
if that was Ron Rivera making that call, it would be a Kings Mountain game.
Let's don't go there.
Okay.
You know, and I think it just ripped the hearts out of those Kings.
I'm telling you,
Mountain
that was
Mountaineers.
one of the most exciting games I've seen in a long time.
We were all here in the studio and watching the end of that.
And I'm going to
game.
tell you something else. You people who don't take advantage to watch this thing on the internet, you're missing it, because this is just like watching TV on Sunday. I mean, or watching, Saturday football. This was great.
Well, you could have been watching some of the other games and then flipped over and called this one.
Yeah.
You're not limited to going to one game. And if you're real smart, like our buddy Sam Davis, who was out this week, you go to the Crest game and you watch the Shelby or the Burns game on your phone.
There you go.
I mean, it's just awesome what they put together here at KTC.
It's a package.
It really is.
And you know what? These boys are playing for fun. It's not boys playing for money.
See, that's why I like high school sports so much.
Yeah.
You're right. They play because they want to play.
Because the coaches are playing the coaches are coaching because they want to coach.
But now, Tom, I don't want to be too dramatic here. Now, you said it was the best game. I remember Richmond Senior and Crest down there in a 54-53 slobber knocker.
Yeah.
Lewis.
How about this? The best game in recent memory.
There you go.
But
I'll
now,
go with that.
Let's put this in context. I was at the game tonight. I went to see you, Tom, and where were you?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we put together such a quality product, and plus,
you just stayed home and watched it.
Plus, I know that you've got to watch so many games because there's so many different fans out there. You got to know a little something about every game.
There you
Well,
go.
I didn't really go, Lewis, to see the game. I went to see the A team in action.
I went to
Calvin and Dan.
I went to Bessemer City.
And Dennis goes for the free food. So
Are you-
don't
wait,
let
wait a minute.
Dennis.
Well, I do too usually,
and
but
Lewis does.
I do
Lewis
too,
does
yes.
too. But I tell you what, Kevin takes care of us here at KTC.
He does.
But here,
So-
fellas,
good pizza.
here's
good
the
pizza.
deal. It's 14-0 Burns.
Right.
In the stadium. The smell of stick of fork in Kings Mountain, their season
This is
is
in the-
over
Yeah,
if they
This is in the second quarter.
and Burns goes for a 4th down situation, 4th and 5. They don't make it, Lewis.
Right.
And at that point, Kings Mountain said, "Man, hold on here. we get the ball back.
I tell you what,
We got a prayer.
Well, and Kings Mountain made a great run there at the end.
And Coach Lloyd, they went down and they threw to a boy I hadn't seen catch a ball all year, number 7, big old boy, looked like a tight end.
Yeah.
They throwed that ball out there, and he fell into it. And they got a touchdown.
Brandon Bell for Kings Mountain really impressed me tonight.
Oh, man.
With his running game. I mean, it was strikingly similar. Somebody brought up, I think Dan brought up that Kings Mountain had not beat Burns since 2009. I was at that game. That's back when me and you were in the basement, Dennis, doing the show that I don't think
Down in the
anybody
dungeon.
listened to.
Down in the
and
dungeon.
then I watched that ball game and got over there, and Greg Lloyd ran out the clock on Burns with a methodical drive, and that's all I saw, a methodical drive with Brandon Bell making some nice runs down there. And, Burns gave a good field position to, I think Matt Beam would like that casino coming to Cleveland County because he's a gambler.
gambling man.
I'm telling
He
you.
is.
He's
Like I
a
said, Ron
gambling
Rivera,
man.
you need to
Well,
talk
I
to
mean,
Matt Beam.
and he gambled and went for it on 4th down around the middle of the field, and Kings Mountain stopped him and moved down the field.
But that's the way he coaches all the
You're
time.
right, Lewis.
That's what he does.
But
You're
on
right.
that second score for Kings Mountain boys, I saw a beautiful pass, Lewis. It was one of them rainbows.
Yeah.
To a boy standing over there in the corner. Now he went out at the 1-yard line.
Right.
But it was a gamble on Coach Lloyd's part. So you had 2 gunslingers tonight shooting it out at the
And
OK
everybody-
Corral.
Yeah, slide one thing in there too. It looked like it might have been a pass interference penalty on one of those long plays down
Could
the
have-
field.
could have been.
What do
You-
you think, Lewis? Do
Well,
think
you can call pass interference on every play if you look close enough.
Well,
I mean, in offense and defense.
Well, Lewis, there was
because
one-
you got this pushing and shoving. All
There
the way
was
down
one
the
guy
field.
up there, and we're not getting in a fight here, folks.
No,
but
not yet.
They called it on Burns, and the Burns boys down here pushing off. And I saw
Right.
the Kings Mountain boy doing this,
Right.
and he was trying to get the Burns boys' hands off of it. Well, they called it on Burns,
Yeah.
and that gave him a big first down.
I think the thing about that is it's a judgment call. I don't care if it's a pros or college, high school. It's a judgment call, and you can go either way with it because both receivers have a right to the ball.
And there's a something else I'd like to point out on that last drive, Kings Mountain. I found it odd that they had to take a couple of timeouts on that drive. When
Right.
you're trying to run out the clock, the last thing you want to do is take your timeout. So, young kids, Kings Mountain's not used to being maybe in that situation,
Right.
and Coach Lloyd wants to make sure you don't get a penalty. They did get a procedure penalty, which
Yep.
backed them up 5, and that cost them big time.
It did.
Then they got the ball back, didn't have any timeouts, Dennis.
But just think about it, boys. We talk about dodging that proverbial bullet.
Yep.
What would have happened to this conference race if Kings Mountain
Oh, my.
had beat Burns tonight? Now, Burns, Lewis, is one of the top-ranked
Oh,
3A
yeah.
teams.
Number
not in the
3, yeah.
conference.
Number 3.
But in the state.
Number 3 in the state.
in the state.
maybe-
And in the Sweet 16, they're at number 10.
Yeah.
1 spot ahead of Crest.
Yeah.
So,
I-
boys, we could have had a real topsy-turvy thing
Big
here.
thing. Well, see, and this goes to prove the point that all 3 of us have said all the time. Football in this area is at a different level because
Yeah.
you got people just like Kings Mountain tonight. Man, they come that close.
Well, Kevin, I got to give Kevin and Terry both credit. In the pregame show tonight, since Sam was out, both of them said, throw the records out of the books.
There
when
you go.
play a conference game,
There you go.
it doesn't matter about what the record is. They'll show up, and I think Kings Mountain showed
Well,
up
in
tonight.
two Cleveland County schools too.
Oh,
Rivalry, old
Oh,
rivalry.
That's
guys,
like 2 brothers
we need to
fighting,
get to
Lewis.
some more of these scores. I believe we got Bessemer City over Highland Tech, 44-6. I was at that game.
How about
Yeah.
a first and 45 from
Yes.
the 48?
Yeah, and made it.
first and 45.
And made it.
And Bessemer City, of course, if it's bad, it will happen to the Highland Tech Rams.
Yeah.
We got
So-
a Bessemer City
Well,
grad over here.
Highland is short on numbers. They don't have but about, I think I counted about 18 or 19
No, and there's no subdivision of football. These teams around here.
But it's like Dennis pointed out a while ago. These guys don't worry about playing football because they're going to go to Duke and Stanford
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Harvard and those places, so it don't matter.
Here's some interesting tidbits from another game. At Cherryville, big win tonight.
Yes.
The 19
Wow.
to 14. East Gaston, a scant 7 turnovers in this game. Down to their 4-string quarterback, had an 81-yard touchdown called back
I know.
For what, Dennis? What was the penalty?
I don't know.
Illegal
participation.
Illegal participation.
Which means you got too many men on the
Which
field.
means
They
1, 2,
can't
3, 4,
count.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Now,
11
Say
guys
what
can
you
play.
would about Highland Tech. Highland Tech would never have
Highland Tech.
too many people.
They would
on field.
never have too
They
many.
would have their calculators out of their pockets over there.
We got
Doing
Shelby
calculus.
and Chase 32-20. That's 47 in a row.
48, Lewis.
48.
48,
One
0,
Okay.
and 1.
Oh, I thought Terry's got 47. So
we
that's
want
what
to
I
live
thought
long
about.
enough to see 50. Lewis.
All right, and maybe East Gaston, Cherville over East Gaston in a good football game.
Yeah.
Maiden South Caldwell in 38-14. Got Vance over Huss. What we got?
36-14.
Go ahead.
30
Drone
36-14 in the Hunter Huss game.
36-14.
And Drone, who Crest played like a cheap drum last week, they win tonight. They beat RS Central. So what does
Yeah.
that say for RS in the
28-20.
conference? That's
And-
a conference loss.
And the next one here is for Dan.
Uh-oh.
Man, our friend,
Thomas Jefferson beat Asheville School. Now that's Asheville. That's a private school academy. 28-7. That's not the Asheville team
Yeah.
that
they came down to East
Ashford
Rutherford. They came down to East Rutherford for a baseball game last year. I believe they came in a charter bus. To
Oh,
a
yeah.
baseball game.
Dan said that Thomas Jefferson was your favorite school.
Thomas Jefferson is my favorite. I'm a
3
history
and
teacher.
1.
I love
Hello.
the founding fathers and
And
you
the
know,
Griffons?
and I thought they were the Gophers.
No, Griffons.
The Griffons.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Griffon.
mythological creature, you know.
Yes.
Okay. There's some other myths out there we can't discuss, but Thomas Jefferson, not a myth. That they are a winner tonight.
3-1 record.
3-1 record. You got to question their strength of schedule plan.
But they're in the
school.
But they're in the 1A division.
they're in that
fellas.
1A with Bestman, Cherville.
I want
One more win and they qualify for the playoffs.
I want to see Thomas Jefferson play Cherville. I'm going to go to that game. That's
Yeah.
at Cherville. I'm going
Oh, wait a
to
minute.
that game.
And the winner takes on Highland Tech.
All right.
You know
And
why?
let's-
You know why I'm going? It's right by the studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go with that. Look at that Northern Guilford. Finally come back and beat Reidsville 34-33 in overtime. And
Lewis,
still got that
two
33
overtimes.
game. 2 overtimes.
2 overtimes.
33 game winning
game.
streak.
And this is where you want me to say
Still alive.
slobber knocker.
There you go.
There
Let me say a little bit about this East Rutherford score. East
Yeah.
Rutherford a winner 35-28. They've got a catcher over there for the baseball team. His name's Jordan Strickland. The kid comes from football practice down to play in the fall ball games. So all this kid does is play sports. And this is the kid was defensive player that they went for. They
Went for 2.
Wow.
Reidsville went for 2 and didn't get it.
Didn't get it.
Well, I'll be darned.
Fellas, wait a minute. I got one thing. Point of personal privilege here, if I may have the floor. I got to check off something on my bucket list today, and I promised my buddy I would mention his name. Frankie Willis, thank you. Frankie's got this black Z06 Corvette today. Kevin, he took me for a ride. But, like playing quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, your dream. He let me drive it, man. That was smoother than Tony Romo, the best quarterback in Dallas history.
I was starting to say, did he let you drive it? Because the last time you got on them country roads, you didn't do so good.
At no time were any laws violated in this particular run.
I remember that. That's been several years ago.
We will move the previous
Moving
question.
right along.
Moving right along.
Back to as I was saying.
There you go. We
It's
got
time for a break.
time for a
Steve's
break.
calling for a break.
No, he's not. You just want a break.
No, he called for a break, man.
Is it break?
Time out.
Is it a
out.
break?
I tell you what.
To kiss and tell, it's just not my style, but the night is young.
Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. Those are the powerhouse of vehicles you'll find at Marburger in Shelby. Plus quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And of course, a service department that is second to no one. So when you're in need of another vehicle, see the friendly staff at Marburger. Marburger, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Proud supporters of our local school athletic teams.
Enlow Mortuary is in its 90th year, providing sympathetic, efficient services to the families of the Shelby area. Enlow's is committed to these families to make sure their arrangements are handled in the most professional, caring way. The folks at Enlow's believe the quality of their service, personal touch, and the little things they do add up to the family's satisfaction. Enlow's staff is available anytime to assist you in any way they can. Enlow Mortuary, 231 North Lafayette Street in Shelby.
Experience, quality, and guaranteed service. That's what you get from Shelby Transmission Specialists. They do straight drives and automatic transmissions. They can repair and rebuild transmissions and sell parts as well. So if you're having trouble with your transmission, see the experts, Hal Hambrick, Lyle Reynolds, and Jimmy Stepp at Shelby Transmission Specialist, 734 Nally Drive, just off Highway 226 North, Shelby. Call 704-482-8756.
Former club members Denzel Washington and Jennifer Lopez for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future.
You can change a child's future. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
You can open doors for children to have great futures at the Boys and Girls Club of Cleveland County. Visit us at 412 West Sumter Street or at greatfutures.org.
Thomas & Howard Cash and Carry in Shelby has new owners, and so a name change. The H.T. Hackney Shelby Discount Center is your wholesale warehouse with no membership dues. You'll find great savings while buying in bulk for events such as church socials, reunions, and family gatherings. Cookout needs such as charcoal, hot dogs, hamburgers, whiting, and flounder. Plus, you'll find low prices on tobacco products. Thomas & Howard is now the Shelby Discount Center, 1620 South DeKalb Street in Shelby, next to Ken and Mary's.
And now, scores from around the area. In the South Mountain Athletic 2A, 3A, they are in conference play. Shelby defeats Chase tonight, and the streak continues. Shelby 32, Chase 20. Shelby goes to 3-2 and 2-0 in the conference. East Rutherford picks up their second win. They go to 2-3, 2-0 in the conference with a 35-28 win over East Burke. Burns goes to 5-0 and 2-0 in the conference as they defeat Kings Mountain tonight, 20-15. Drone picks up a big win over RS Central, their first one of the year. Drone 28, RS Central 20. Crest goes up to TC Roberson and comes back with a win. Crest 44, TC Roberson 34. Other games from around the area, it was Maiden defeating South Caldwell 38-14. It was Cherryville knocking off East Gaston 19-14. Bessemer City having no trouble with Highland Tech 44-6. It was Thomas Jefferson over Asheville School 28-7. And it was South Point going to 5-0 with a 52-35 win over AC Reynolds. And now back to the guys in the studio.
Your sports leader is Big O Country, 1390 AM WOHS in Shelby, 1590 AM WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 1050 AM WLON Lincoln, and online at kgcbroadcasting.com.
Welcome back to the Marburger Motors post-game show. We have a caller. Let's go with the caller. Who we got?
That's Steve DeGree.
Hey, Steve.
How you doing, Lewis?
I'm doing good. How'd the Golden Lions look tonight?
I tell you what, in the first quarter we came out, looked like world beaters. We was up 19-0. First three times we had the ball, scored right away, and then somehow Chase stole the momentum. And I tell you what, Chase came to play tonight.
Yeah.
And then halftime was like 22-13.
All right.
And then they scored and made it 20-22. And then Shelby got for the game back. I tell you what, Chase has nothing to be ashamed of. Man, they played a great football game.
Well, Steve, this is Dennis. Of course, you got to remember that Chase has a big hill to climb. We all know about the record. We're not going to talk about it here per se tonight. But the thing of it was, Chase came to Shelby, as you put it. They were ready to play.
Yep.
They gave a good effort. They have nothing to be ashamed of. They're going to be tough in this conference. East Rutherford tonight had a big victory. They won 35-28 over East Burke. Shelby's 2A, Chase is 2A, East is 2A. that's going to be a tough battle for you guys because you made a good leap tonight by beating Chase on your home field. But there's still some tough teams to play out there, and they have to play one another. That East Chase game has now become very interesting.
Yes, sir. And don't get in easy. We got to go to John Gabbard Stadium next week, play the Kings Mountaineers, and I was trying to monitor that game, and they came out and gave a great effort against Burns, so the games don't get any easier.
Well, let's put it this way. Kings Mountain could easily have won that game tonight at Burns.
Very
so
easily.
you boys be prepared next week. The Mountaineers playing tough.
Yes, they are.
Steve, when I talked to Brent Pasco a little bit, he commented on that some penalties on the Shelby side might have kept Chase in the game longer than maybe they should have been in the game. I know it was 22-20 deep in the second half. What do you think about that?
Yeah, when you got 15, 16-year-old kids out there, they're trying to make a play or trying to make a block. We got one touchdown called back, but, the kid was trying to make a downfield block. And if you just have to overcome, because you're going to have penalties in the game, you just got to overcome. And then we had to change the offensive lineup. One of our offensive linemen had a concussion, so we had to insert a sophomore named Nick Pugh, number 62. This was his first varsity start on varsity.
Yeah.
And he done a great job tonight. And then we got Gray Ager back on defense, so that gave us a little depth in the defensive line. But I'm telling you, it was a great ball game.
Well, Steve, that's what you expect in high school. And, of course, regardless of what the record shows, this is a great rivalry between the Trojans and the Lions because, last year in the playoffs it was, 10-7 or something like that. You guys have played.
Yeah, 10-7.
Yeah,
it was 10-7 in the playoffs. We had beat them like 42-7 earlier that year and came back. Like I said, we only have them 10-7. So,
yeah.
Chase plays us tough. Some games they have been leading us, so they always play us tough.
And I'm going to say I'm a little surprised the record is as lopsided as it is because there have been some very tough games where, like Burns tonight, Shelby's pulled a rabbit out of a hat from time to time as well.
Yeah, like I said, the offense is they played when we had to score when we had to, ran the ball. Me and Coach Jones was up in the press about saying run the ball, to get some of the clock. And then Coach Ward did a great job on time management.
Yeah.
He was told R.J. George was standing and let the clock run down. I think that was the key, too, because Chase had used all their timeouts. So we just stood there and let the clock run down. So, that's
Steve,
good time management.
Who's Shelby got next week?
Got Kings Mountain of Buffalo Creek.
At Shelby or at Kings Mountain?
Kings Mountain.
Oh.
I'd say that's a more significant rivalry. The only thing, if it's gonna be a rivalry, you got to win a few.
Historically, Buffalo Creek was always been for blood up until Burns and Crest came
in the
along.
late 60s.
Then that sort of shifted a little bit because of that rivalry. But listen, Kings Mountain will be ready for that game, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
You know that.
If they can recover from this.
Coach Ladd is a great guy now. Friend of mine, he'll have them ready to play, I tell you.
Yeah.
And they got a little freshman kid named Jack Murphy. He played middle school last year, gave us fit.
Yeah.
So he's on varsity now at Kings Mountain. But they got some great personnel over there. We're going to have our A game next week.
I got one quick question for you, Steve. Shelby Middle School Blue Devils this week. How'd you come out?
Well, actually, we had a bye. This week.
Had a bye this week.
Right,
Okay.
we play at East Repton next Wednesday at 5:00.
Okay, good.
And,
Well, Steve, we appreciate you calling, bud. Thank you, and call us back next week and report on the Kings Mountain Shelby game. That'll be a good one.
Well, Lewis,
you better get there early.
Yes,
That's all
sir.
I got to say.
Absolutely.
Lewis,
Thank you, fellas.
Steve's not the only one that can call. You can call, too. We want to hear from some Burns fans.
Absolutely.
We got some numbers here, 704-735-8071 in the Lincolnton area. Now, you were off this week, but you can still call and talk about things.
Absolutely.
704-735-8071. Cherryville, hey, big win tonight. Let's hear from some of the Ironmen over here. 704-435-3297. That's 704-435-3297. And Steve is not the only line. If you're in the Shelby area, give us a call at 704-482-1390. That applies for you Burns folks too. 704-482-1390. 1490.
And you know, a lot of folks stop me and say, hey, heard what you guys are talking about and this or that. And I'm begging these people to call in. We want to hear you. We get tired of talking.
Yeah, who we got a caller?
Well, we do have a caller.
All right, who we got? Hello? Hey, who we got?
It's Coach Russ.
Hey, how are you?
That's Philip Russ.
Doing pretty good. Just on the way home from the Burns Kings Mountain game.
All right, tell us what.
Talk to us a little bit about that. We watched it on the internet or something else.
Coming from an unbiased point of view, it's our bye week at West Lincoln, and I went over and traveled over to Lawndale and watched the Bulldogs take on the Mountaineers. And I will say, I was quite impressed with how Coach Lloyd's team came out tonight.
Oh yeah.
It started out. I'm telling you, Kings Mountain's defense. You know, their offense was real sluggish off the gate, but their defense, man, they put up a lot of walls and stopped a very fast-paced, quick-hit offense.
Yeah. Yeah, we were watching it on the internet, and it was a great football game. We sat here and couldn't believe it the way Burns came back.
Well, Coach, you're not the only guy I saw there from West Lincoln tonight. Since y'all had sort of a bye tonight, there were actually several of the Rebel fans, I think, that came over to see what this Burns Kings Mountain game was all about tonight, and they got their money's worth too.
Yes, sir. I think honestly, just one thing I talked to my guys when we seen it is, it was a good exposure game. I told them, we need to travel over to Lawndale, watch that game because, coming into it, Burns has a lot of hype. They're ranked high up in the rankings. They're a good football team.
Yes.
Kings Mountain kind of had to have a chip on their shoulder going against a big powerhouse.
Yep.
And my thing to my guys was watch how Kings Mountain comes out, how they address, the big impact game.
Yep.
With the loud noise, the loud fans, and just how they react to it. And I felt like, their quarterback, the Bell kid, I'd love to see him on the baseball diamond. The way he plays quarterback as a first-year football player, man, that kid's something special for those guys.
Let me ask you a question. All the Southern District 7 tonight was open except for Maiden. Why was that done? Was there any special reason, or that just coincidence and happened that way?
Well, it just kind of aligned that way. I think they had their open week early, whereas everybody else in conference had their open week this week. Because for some reason, I think they were 3-0 or something like that going into the night, and everybody else had already had 4.
Oh, okay.
And
all right, you're right.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think that's the same. That's South Caldwell, wasn't it? They played.
Yeah.
Maiden
South Caldwell. Maiden beat them 38-14.
38-14.
Yeah, and West Caldwell's in our conference, so that would still be their last non-conference game.
Right.
Okay. Well, who do you fellas have next week?
We bring Lincoln in to Vail. We're going to try to go against Coach Cloninger and the Wolves.
We were talking about these things like with Burns and Kings Mountain tonight. It's a conference game. It's a rival in-county game for you. I don't think you're going to have any trouble getting your boys up for this one, are you?
Well, and I'll tell you something else. You better go early if you want to get a seat, because they'll be there.
I'm telling you, we over there, what we're preaching and what I'm telling my guys, you know it's going to be a big game, but you gotta pretend like it's every other game.
Yeah.
We preach to the kids every week. It's another game. It's another step. Don't ride on the highs. Don't ride on the lows. Stay in the middle of the road. Play our game, and at the end of the game, it'll take care of itself. But we do West Lincoln football our way.
Right.
If we let them have a big play and they get hyped and they kind of take the I've heard it all along, and me and Mr. Zamfani used to talk about it in class. In any game, any sport, if you get momentum on your side,
yes, sir,
whichever side Mo hangs out is where the game will go.
Yep, that's the truth. I tell you what, we appreciate you calling in, and call us next week and after the Lincoln game and talk to us some more. We enjoy that.
Yes, sir, I will, as long as I got a voice.
There you go. We got another caller.
Good luck next week, Philip.
Thank you for calling. All right, got another caller? Who we got? Hello? Hello? Who we got? Can't hear him.
We can't hear him.
We can't hear him. Technical difficulties here.
Yeah, but we can't hear the caller.
We can't hear the caller.
Okay.
Press some more buttons.
Go try it again.
All right.
Hello?
Hello.
Talk to him.
Who we got?
Yeah, this is Keith. How y'all doing?
Hey,
doing
Keith.
good. How you?
I'm doing all right. Just leaving old Lawndale.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, listen, did you have a good time in Lawndale tonight?
It was a good football game, but a little hot under the collar.
Yeah.
Kings Mountain is a very dangerous football team.
Yes,
Yes,
they
they
are.
are.
There's no
They're very
question about
dangerous.
that.
And tonight I've seen them grow up.
Well, they're so well coached too. That's the whole thing.
Do you think Burns went a little flat after they went up 14-0 real quick at the beginning of the second quarter? It was 14-0. Looks like Burns is just going to walk on them like they did Chase last week. Did it look like the boys let down, or was just Kings Mountain that good?
Kings Mountain was that good. What they did was what a well-coached team do. You absorb that first blow.
Yeah.
Well, the
You
one
take
thing
that first blow and make it to the bell.
the one thing I saw was exactly what you're talking about. When Burns went up 14-0, you say, well, this is a typical Burns blowout right here.
Right.
Kings Mountain did not give up. I think the coaching probably had some effect on calming the boys down.
Right.
They saw their opportunities. They made some big plays there. And the next thing you know, they missed the extra point on that first one. They had a great play down there on that reception to go ahead on that second score. They went for two to try to tie it up. They gambled. You know, that's very un-Ron Rivera kind of playing. But they gave it a great effort. Burns came back out. In the second half, it was a totally different ball game.
Yep. But
Yeah,
they
we had a
didn't.
couple horseshoes hanging around there in Lawndale.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I take a ugly win versus a pretty loss any
Oh,
day.
definitely.
But my
A
hat's off
W's
to
a
Kings
W.
Mountain.
Yeah.
appreciate your call. Thanks for calling, and call us next week.
What was the South Point and AC Reynolds score?
Okay.
52-35 South Point. They pulled away late. It was tight. It was tight.
It was
at
14-14 at one point.
and then South Point pulled away.
South
I believe
Point
I
turned
believe they
into
got
South
about
Point.
14 horseshoes on them or something.
Hey,
Yeah.
South Point's got a very good football team.
Gold-plated
It's some
horseshoes.
horseshoes, and it's some doggone good ball players too.
Good talent.
The good talent brings you a lot of luck. It seems.
Absolutely. All right,
Well,
we got another caller.
All right.
Appreciate
thank
you
you.
calling, Keith.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, I got one thing.
Yeah.
This kid from Davidson Day, the one that's going to Florida,
Yeah.
Greer.
Yeah. What do you want to know about him?
Well, no, I just found out something this week. I didn't know this kid has got a 55-yard punting average.
Well, I'm just looking here under punting. Davidson Day,
yeah.
Will Greer, average. He's got 3 punts, and his average, 50.7 yards.
Yeah, I knew it was 50-something.
I think he got a big roll out of one. It must have got like an 80-yard.
Listen, fellas,
punt.
we got some statistics here, but I got one
Got
I
another
want to give
caller.
you. Okay.
Go ahead. Who we got?
Mr. Go the Lions here, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby. The Lions was sweating there when it was 22-20, but I think you must have took them some oxygen over there from your bus and got them all pumped back up, Bobby. Good game tonight for the Golden Lions. Tell us your viewpoint on it.
Yeah, you said it right. When I got there, they seemed like they got a little relaxed after that 19-0 lead, and seemed like Kings Mountain seemed like they let the other team just come in there. Chase, I'm speaking of. They finally saw what Shelby was doing, and somehow they went to their passing game, and they went a little deep on them, and that's why they were scoring so much. Shelby's kind of hurting in a way on the in the secondary, and I think that's what Chase was trying to do to him tonight, kind of hurt him in that area. I thank God that George Boy for Shelby, he really proved that he can come up with the football, and he threw real well tonight and got the ball to his receivers tonight, and I think that kind of made the difference in the game. And finally, at the end, the defense rose to the occasion and set out the Chase Trojans.
Well, how was your running game tonight with Raquan Washington? Did he have a good night tonight?
He had a pretty good night. He could have had a better night. He has had better nights, but I think Chase was kind of keying him in on him in the latter part of the game. And as I was listening to Steve Degree earlier, the referees kind of got in the game a little bit. I was kind of
now. Come on, Bobby.
Surely not.
The reason I ask about Raquan is he's one of the rushing leaders in the whole area of the Charlotte Observer. But let me point out something to you that Shelby folks are going to be shocked. One of the guys who is leading in passing, more yards than Chaz Surratt at East Lincoln, more yards than some of these other guys. R.J. George, Shelby, 42 for 72 prior to tonight for 802 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Pretty
Bobby,
good.
Did you ever think the day you'd read where Shelby was throwing the ball like that?
Yes, kind of in a way, and I'm like you. Shelby was really throwing that football real well tonight, and that George is a boy. As I said, he is really. I think sometimes he get a little scared maybe when he come out the pocket, but he's got an arm to throw the ball, and I'm hoping that on next week that Shelby controls the line. The scrimmage on next week as when they play Kings Mountain. He's got a very good arm, and I guess I thought I would see it eventually one day because he's proven that he can do the job.
Well, now you've been around long enough. You know about the Battle of Brushy Creek. A lot of these young whippersnappers, the Kings Mountain Shelby rivalry has not been in recent years quite as intense as it was, say, back in the 60s and the 70s before Crest and Burns became along and more established programs. But go back a little bit. I know you've seen a lot of Shelby Kings Mountain games. That's going to be a slobber knocker regardless.
I will strongly agree. Kings Mountain has got a good team, as I heard someone say earlier. They're very strong. They're very quick, and especially on offense, they're very smart on defense. They got a real good coaching staff over there, and I'm looking forward to a bit not only a slobber knocker, but a strong crash over there next week at John Gamble Stadium.
Well, listen, Bobby, we appreciate you call and call us back next week, and we'll talk about that Battle of Buffalo Creek.
All right.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you so much.
All right. We got a break. We'll be right back with the Marburger Motors post-game show.
Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. Those are the powerhouse of vehicles you'll find at Marburger in Shelby. Plus quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And of course, a service department that is second to no one. So when you're in need of another vehicle, see the friendly staff at Marburger. Marburger, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Proud supporters of our local school athletic teams.
Hi, this is Woody Durham for Doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson at Family Dental Care in Shelby. No matter the age, kids, teenagers, and adults, Dr. Stroud, Wilson, and Thompson will take care of your dental needs. They have over 50 years' experience serving the people of Cleveland County. Call 704-482-3281 for Family Dental Care at 416 West Warren Street in Shelby. That's Doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson. Kids love them, and you will too.
Summertime fun can be ruined with a bad sunburn. Be prepared with a visit to the Falston Pharmacy in Falston. They have all the suntan protection products you need. And be sure to ask about the free vitamin plan for children from Falston Pharmacy. And for you Sundrop fans, Falston Pharmacy has 12-pack cans of Sundrop products for only $3.99. Buy 2 12-packs for $7 or get 3 12-packs for just $10 at the Falston Pharmacy. Use their convenient drive-through window located on Highway 18 North in Falston.
Hi, this is Woody Durham for Doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson at Family Dental Care in Shelby. No matter the age, kids, teenagers, and adults, Dr. Stroud, Wilson, and Thompson will take care of your dental needs. They have over 50 years' experience serving the people of Cleveland County. Call 704-482-3281 for Family Dental Care at 416 West Warren Street in Shelby. That's Doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson. Kids love them, and you will too.
Since 1919, yes, 1919, Griffin Drug Store in downtown Kings Mountain has been serving the people of the Kings Mountain area with the finest in prescription service. And be sure to come in and ask about the 10% senior citizen discount. and most prescription cards are honored. At Griffin Drug Center, 129 West Mountain Street in downtown Kings Mountain. Since 1919. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 12 on Saturday. That's Griffin Drug Center in Kings Mountain. It's the refrigerator of steel, stainless steel that is, from Hendrick Appliance in Shelby, Gastonia, and Lincoln. Come in now and see the new stainless steel kitchen appliances at Hendrick Appliance, including an over-the-range microwave oven, an electric range, a dishwasher, and a big 26 cubic foot side-by-side refrigerator. And now save $500 with 12-month special financing that's now available. Visit your nearest Hendrick Appliance, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, 4027 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, and in the Carolina Shopping Center in Boger City.
And now scores from around the area. Shelby keeps the streak alive as they defeat Chase tonight 32-20. East Rutherford over East Burke 35-28. It was Burns scoring late on a touchdown in the fourth quarter to beat Kings Mountain 20-15. It was drawn over RS Central 28-20. It was Crest defeating TC Roberson 44-34. It was Alexander Central over St. Stephen's 49-14. Statesville defeated Lexington 35-6. It was Elkin over West Iredell 50-34. South Iredell had no trouble with Salisbury 56-0. It was Maiden over South Caldwell 38-14. Watauga over Wilkes Central 42-0. Cherylville over East Gaston 19-14. Bessemer City defeated Highland Tech 44-6. It was Thomas Jefferson over Asheville School 28-7. Davison Day over Community School of Davison 45-0. Ravenscroft defeated Pine Lake Prep 57-8. It was South Point over AC Reynolds 52-35, and Vance defeated Hunter Huss 36-14. And the last one, it was Lake Norman Charter over Village Christian 43-0. And now back to the guys in the studio.
Your sports leader is Big O Country, 1390 AM WHS in Shelby, 1590 AM WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 1050 AM WLO in Lincoln, and online at KGCBroadcasting.com.
Welcome back to the Marburger post-game show. Marburger Motors in Shelby, your Jeep, Dodge, and Nissan dealer, and we have a caller. Who we got?
Sonny Key.
Who?
Sonny Key.
Sonny Key from Burns.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Sonny, how's it going, man?
What's going on?
Not a whole lot. I guess you were at that Burns game tonight.
Yeah, I was there.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Both teams played well. Kings Mountain didn't beat themselves. There was, I don't know if there was any turnovers or not. Wasn't very many penalties. That was really crucial. Well, there was
I think there was a procedure penalty against Kings Mountain when they were trying to run out the clock. Do you remember that particular one?
Yeah.
That seemed like it might have hurt them. What do you think?
Yeah, that probably did affect them. But I don't know. Burns they came out tough and played Burns football, and then they kind of relaxed, I guess. But Kings Mountain really was playing good ball. They moved the ball well. The quarterback can run good.
That seems to be the sentiment of most of the callers about this game, that it wasn't a matter of Burns just, everybody expected Burns just to come out here and walk on Kings Mountain. If I'm looking here in the score, everybody in the paper had Burns winning by at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So the callers seem to, including yourself, seem to be giving Kings Mountain a lot of credit. It looked like the Brandon Bell was running the ball very well. I noticed here he's leading the county in touchdown passes, at least coming in, and he had 9 touchdown passes. What do you think of Brandon Bell?
That's a good offense. He's a good quarterback. Definitely running the ball. So they got pretty good side.
Yeah.
And so they come in ready to play, and they played well.
Do you think the Burns defense?
We were fortunate at the end to be able to pull it out, but that's what good teams do. If you're better than the other team, you pull it out in the end.
Yeah.
So I think that's basically what happened.
That fourth down stand that Burns made to get the ball back with 1:30 left, that was a turnaround, and then that 4th and 10.
That pass down at
yes, sir.
That 40-yard bomb.
I'm gonna tell you, that's two great plays right there.
On that play, he went to his man. Yeah. He went to a senior. a guy who's been through the battle and
That's right.
know what it's like to win and know what it's like to fight for the win. So he went to Ruff. Ruff made a play.
Yep.
And Montgomery play after that. Ruff made another play. They won the game.
Right.
Sonny.
But I think they need to get big kid more involved. Gillette, with a kid that size, you got to go to him a little more. I know he don't always catch every ball, but he made a couple of good catches, and then they didn't connect with him too many times after that. But I think if they can get him involved more, that will probably open up the run game more.
When you're 6'9", you throw that ball up like they did. I know he had a touchdown early. I missed it. I had to go to the restroom there. But anyway, sorry.
When Mother Nature calls.
And,
Yes.
and Sonny may be onto something. Cause
And that play where he scored the touchdown was not a play that he just jumped over everybody. It was kind of on the line. The pass was kind of on the line to catch.
But he had one there, I know, that went off his fingertips where he actually came back to the ball, went around the defender, made a leap, and got the ball went off his hands. So he's got some potential. But, Sonny, this is a Crest man talking to you now. Just Charger to Bulldog.
Well, y'all's time coming.
Yeah, but here,
y'all's time coming.
Hold on a minute, Sonny. What I was going to say was the Bulldogs up there tonight had a great crowd. Y'all don't sit on your hands up there.
No.
Like the wine and cheese crowd down at the corral do sometimes. Y'all were into it. You had the little kids all down on the rail. You had the fans, the adults were into it. There's a crowd being around. Of course, you got your teenagers out there talking and chatting and socializing and everything. But the whole Burns side was rocking and rolling tonight. So I'm going to give it to the Bulldogs. Not only is the team doing good, but the fans are into it up there at Burns this year. So tip of the hat to you guys.
Back in the day, did you ever see that movie called The Pack?
I didn't catch that one.
I think it's a movie called The Pack. There's a bunch of wild dogs.
Yeah.
They couldn't do nothing with them, so we wild dogs now. We at the shelter. We at the dog house, and if you come in there, you might get bit.
Well, just remember, Sonny, while y'all are wild at home, you do have to come down to the corral this year, and so we'll see what happens down there. I know you'll be calling to tell me about it.
Yeah. When we come, we bringing toothbrushes.
There you go.
We bringing toothbrushes, and we know on to brush the horse's teeth.
Well, hey, we appreciate you call, and call us back next week.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah,
Tom. One thing I want to talk a little bit about. He brought it up about the support of the community. You've talked about that before. You and I have talked about that. Talk about that a little bit.
It's just that the kids, they get student section T-shirts, and they sold out of them, which tells you, how much they. And the kids did neon night for the game last week. They all had orange and lime green and all this stuff coming to school. And it was just, the kids. The kids and the student section, it's really good to see.
Well, in the community, the adults in the community, I'm sure you've got people that donate and that kind of thing.
I saw something tonight, Lewis, I'd never seen, and this goes to the community because I know some people go to the football game just to see the band at halftime.
Right.
I saw something tonight, Lewis, I ain't never seen.
What's that?
I saw a motorized bandstand. They had this bandstand built over like a riding lawnmower.
We've got a really good vocational program over there, so wouldn't surprise me one bit if the boys built
Mr.
that
Martin
down there
and
at the shop.
those guys down there in the shop.
Mr. Martin is definitely a whiz in that shop, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Got a caller. Excuse me. Got a caller. Who we got?
Michael.
Well, hello, Michael. Talk to us.
Yeah, those Bulldogs done really good tonight.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, and I was impressed when we're 5-0 in the season this early, and we're getting our touchdowns real good, and we intercept one from Kings Mountain away from them.
And Michael, late in that ball game, did you really think Burns could actually win that game? When it's 4th down and 10, did you really think Burns was going to pull that one out?
Yeah, and I was. I was thinking.
Now, be honest.
It was, I was. 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 I was we will win it, and then we did.
It didn't. I tell you what, because I was here in the shop, Michael. I'm gonna admit to you. I looked at Dennis and I said, Dennis, I can't believe this. I am not going to want to be at Matt Beam's practice on Monday because it's going to be rough after they don't pull this one out. 4th and 10, I'm saying they need a miracle. I mean, they need something. And I'm telling you what.
And they got one.
There's some Burns people must be going to church and putting plenty of money in the collection plate.
You never heard of Lords of Lawndale?
There was some divine intervention in that game.
Well, the other caller made a point, though, Tom. He went to the senior. The rough kid. He went to the kid who's performed and been there in the clutch and knows what to do.
And Chris has been there. Chris Montgomery has been there in the clutch, and they've got some.
I talked to some of the football players too.
And what they have to say.
I used to talk to them when I was in school. I talked to them, say, if you don't win, I will get on to you.
Yeah, you better believe they are. You better believe they're going to stay.
I ain't got on to them none yet.
Well, that's good.
Well, it's a great big win up there in Lawndale. And, Michael, thank you for calling in.
Yes, sir.
And please call us again next week and let us know how
I'll be at the fair next week.
Okay, you're going to be at the fair next week.
Okay.
Burns might be is Burns open next week?
Hold on a minute, then I'll look.
We'll try to find out. But you have a good time at the fair, Michael. And you call us next time you go to a ball game.
There you go. We appreciate your
call.
We
appreciate
Thank
your
you.
calling. Thank you very much. I want to go back to something Sonny said. I didn't think about it, Lewis. Gillette, the kid who's 6'9".
Yeah.
4 ball games coming in, only 5 catches. What do you think about that, Lewis?
Well, at 6'9", it looks to me like they ought to be throwing to him just a little bit more. Is a kid? I got this question. I don't know this kid. Is he a basketball player?
He passes me in the hall, and he just dwarfs me. He's huge.
Is he a basketball player?
And I'm trying. We got a new coach, and every time he walks by, basketball. You need to think about it. He goes, "Yes, sir," and he just smiles and walks on. Kid does not play basketball, Lewis.
How old is he?
I think he's a senior.
What grade?
He's a senior.
And doesn't play basketball.
No, and every time he walks by,
East Burke. You got East Burke next week.
Okay, we got East Burke.
Got another
call. Who we got, Steve?
Who we got here?
We got Kings Mount Joel.
Hey, Joel.
Joel, did you recover from the game yet? Have you recovered emotionally?
It'll be tomorrow, because man, it was a wild one.
Well,
but
I guess
I just want to respect Burns, because even when they got that ball back, because on us, the fans got mad at the coaches because they didn't manage the clock right at the end for calling them timeouts.
And I commented on that earlier. Did you find that strange, Joel?
Yeah, well, the problem is it's like when they got momentum, they wait so late to send the play in, and by the time they do it, they either get that procedure call, and then by the time they try to run that clock, they just wait till the last second. I'm sitting there, well, just get the ball off.
Did you like the call on 4th and 1? Would you have put it in Brandon Bell's hands again? He had run 3 or 4 times in a row.
Do not go outside. Just keep what you've been doing the first 3 quarters. Just gut it right up the middle. If you get stuff, you get stuff. But because he's 5 yards in the backfield. But I know he had 3 blockers, but I said sooner or later they're going to stuff that outside run.
But in all defense of Coach Lloyd, it looked like they had some success on that play as well.
Yeah, it was working. But like I said, I'm not taking away nothing because, man, our fans was proud of our players. We just kind of got a little grumpy at the coaches at the end. But Kings Mountain, they was swarming tonight.
Well, Joel, I was at the game, and when it was 14-0 Burns, I thought stick a fork in Kings Mountain. This is fixing to go down and score again, and it's going to be 21-0, and this season's over for Kings Mountain. But they gutted it up. They stopped Burns on a 4th down play there, short 5 yards. They got the ball back. They go down and score. They missed the extra point. They get the ball back again, go down and score again before the half's over. Kept Burns from scoring again. It was 14-12, and I thought this is going to be an interesting game in the second half. I'm sorry I can't stick around and watch it, but it was I came back here and we were able to see it on the KTC Broadcasting website. And, man, that was a heck of a game down the stretch. And I got to give Coach Lloyd and the players for Kings Mountain credit for not rolling over and playing dead. Absolutely. They came back to play, and I think that speaks well for you. Got Shelby coming in next week. What's going to happen?
Just hope we don't take our wounds next week. We just get ready and forget this. I know it's going to take a day or two. And just get ready for Monday and get ready for Shelby and just get it behind us.
There you go.
But I just want to say, that offense quit getting a little bit sluggish right off the bat. They've been in like that in every game. And once they get out of that situation, because the defense can't play all night, and once they finally finish it at the end, it's going to come together.
Yeah.
It just you don't know when, but it just because we scared a Burns team that's supposed to just, like you said, stick a fork in us.
Yes. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was a great ball game. We sit here and watch the second half. It was tremendous.
It's just unbelievable. Like you said, the guy caught the ball at the 1 yard line. I'm saying, now, how in the world he caught it? And then Jake Merchant somehow come way out of his position because one of our receivers fell, and he caught the ball in the middle of the field. Looked like it was going to be intercepted. And I'm like, everybody's hustling tonight.
Yeah. They
I was proud of them, but it's just like I said, the fans got a little grumpy at the end when the coaches made their mistake calling timeout.
Fans are fans. Fans are fans. They don't.
Y'all have a good weekend, and I'll be calling that.
Thank you, Joel.
Buffalo Creek next week.
All right, appreciate it. You know, he's talking about, if I understand what he was saying, he's talking about sending plays in the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not the coach's fault. Sometimes the kid doesn't do what he's supposed to.
And the kid lines up wrong, or you don't have 6 on the line, or you got 2 men in motion, and you call them out before you get a penalty.
Absolutely. So, and I think probably that's the situation. That's what happened.
And here's the other thing, Lewis. Your offensive coordinator makes a decision.
All right.
He relays it down to the sideline.
Right.
Some guy's down on the sideline and sends it into the kid that's quarterbacking.
Right.
Then he's got to interpret that and give it to the team.
Right.
Then the team's got to run the play, and by that time, your 25 seconds is just about
absolutely.
up.
And Tom made a good point there about kids being out of position and not being where they're supposed to be,
especially in a tight ball game.
Yes.
And these kids know that maybe we shouldn't be winning this game, but we are.
All right.
And you have to be in that situation enough times to know. And Burns has been there more than Kings Mountain. So fans that are on the coaches, lay off those coaches. Okay, those coaches work hard.
Oh, they do.
And you know what? If you think you could do it better, you're wrong. You can't.
Exactly right.
Okay,
you're exactly right.
So any fan who wants to get on Coach Lloyd, I'll sit here right now and say, if he hadn't have called the timeout and got a penalty, your fans would be screaming, "Hey, why didn't they call a timeout to avoid the penalty?" So your coaches are working hard for you. They got a good staff over there at Kings Mountain. It is tough when you got to stop the clock twice when you're trying to run out the clock. I understand the frustration, but just give the coaches a break.
Tommy, we got 3 history teachers here. Somebody, you guys know what I'm talking about. Remember what Teddy Roosevelt said about the man in the arena? He said, and it's a long poem it goes about, but it's the guy in the arena. You don't criticize him because he's in there getting it done. He's feeling the pressure. He's making sure what happens.
Yeah.
Folks, it's always easy to coach up in the stands.
Well, and when you coach kids, I mean, they're kids, for gosh sakes.
Yeah. And they don't always do what you tell them.
No, they don't.
And if you want to coach, you go 4 hours in the summertime, and you go 6 months a year. You coach Steve. Steve's telling me I got a call.
And we got a call. Who we got? Hello? No? We here? Hello?
Are you there, caller?
Yeah, we're here.
I guess he hung up.
Hey, Steve, that's not the caller.
That's Steve. Oh, that's Steve.
Hey, we got Steve Roberts calling in.
How you doing, buddy?
I tell you what, if Matt Beam's listening, I wish you would like to hear from Coach Beam.
I tell you what, he's probably either on an oxygen tank or a defibrillator. He might need a defibrillator after that one.
That's true.
See if Coach Beam's available.
So, you know what? But I shouldn't have given the Burns guys a shout-out because now all the coaches are like, Tom, where's my shout-out?
There you go.
Time out. I want to point out to you tonight, Crest 44, TC Roberson 34. If you're a Crest fan, 704-482-1390. This is just for Crest folks. 704-482-1390. If you didn't go to the game and you listened to Andy and on the thing, or if you watched, well, they didn't have a video broadcast.
Even though Dennis called you, quote unquote, wine and cheese crowd, did you pick that up?
I saw that.
Let me what? There is 0 wine sales in Bowling Springs. How much is going to tell you? There is not a bottle of wine been sold in Bowling Springs in 25 years.
What did you want me to
I
call
don't
them?
know
Shoe
where
polish and
Dennis
cornbread?
calling the Crest fans wine and
cheese.
cheese. I definitely think they are meat and potatoes people
I
down
thought
there.
they
at
are
Crest.
peanuts and beer, but I don't think I go wine and cheese.
Lewis, remember the source of this criticism.
What?
Tom is a big Cleveland Browns fan, and once again, they gutted the team this week, Tom, just for you.
And another high school action. We have
Steve's
Vance over
on break
us,
here.
36-14.
We need to take a break. We'll be back shortly.
Let us take a break on that, please, Steve. Commercial.
Post-game show.
Thank you.
Wake up in the morning, get to living my life.
Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. Those are the powerhouse of vehicles you'll find at Marburger in Shelby. Plus quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And of course, a service department that is second to no one. So when you're in need of another vehicle, see the friendly staff at Marburger. Marburger, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Proud supporters of our local school athletic teams.
100 years of anything means a lot. And at Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, you'll find over 100 years of combined motorcycle experience. So they must be doing something right. If you're in the market for a new bike, trike, or four-wheeler, or an ATV, see the folks that you can depend on for sales, service, and parts. That's Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, with over 100 years of combined motorcycle experience. Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Baseball players rely on lots of coaches. First base, third base, pitching, and catching. But when it comes to insurance, you only need one coach, an Allstate agent. They'll help you with your insurance game plan. Plus, Allstate agents can bundle your coverage for your car, apartment, boat, motorcycle, and more. So you've got all your bases covered. Are you in good hands?
Your local Allstate agency is the Chris McDaniel Allstate Insurance Agency, 404 Cherryville Road, across from the YMCA in Shelby. Call 704-484-3463.
Where are you eating breakfast today? Have you tried the Hub Cafe located inside Medical Arts Pharmacy? The Hub opens at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. on Saturday, serving an old-fashioned country breakfast at affordable prices. You'll find homemade biscuits, bacon, country sausage, country ham, liver mush, eggs, omelets, all cooked to order on the grill. Call 487-0511 or come on into the Hub Cafe for a delicious country breakfast located inside Medical Arts Pharmacy, 108 Grover Street, Shelby.
At McKinney Salinas Power Sports, service is a top priority. Their fully trained staff all ride the products they offer to ensure that you get the best service possible. They have an 18,000 square foot facility filled with a huge selection of motorcycles, four-wheelers, jet skis, and more. On the water, street, or off-road, they do it all. McKinney Salinas Power Sports is your officially licensed Suzuki, Honda, and Kawasaki dealer. 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard. Call 704-824-2787 or online at mscycles.com.
Here's a special money-saving message from Putnam Distributors in Patterson Springs. If you use petroleum products, you should consider a generic brand. Major brands charge premium rates covering national advertising and promotions. Good generic brand packages their own products and meets manufacturer specifications, and they can sell at a lower price because of lower overhead. Our generic brands include Wolfhead, Coastal, AutoGuard, and Lubriguard. Buy these brands and you cut your costs. See Putnam Distributors, 1626 Peterson Drive, Patterson Springs. It's a World Series of savings at S&R Auto Sales in Shelby. Hurry in now for a great deal on your next vehicle with down payments as low as $699. Pick up this week's What's Up Shopper and take a look at their selection of vehicles. And be sure to try to answer their weekly sports trivia question for some free prizes. S&R Auto Sales, 417 South Post Road in Shelby, the home of the satisfied customer. Right now, during the Yamaha Perfect Choice Sales Event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia, it's the perfect time to get great low financing on all new Yamaha Wave Runners. From the race-ready FZR that reaches 30 miles per hour in under 2 seconds to the full-featured, comfortable and roomy FX Cruiser Show, the perfect Wave Runner is waiting for you. Hurry to Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia for a great low financing and choose your perfect Wave Runner. But don't wait, these offers end soon. Full Throttle Power Sports, exit 22 off I-85, Gastonia.
And now scores from around the area. Shelby keeps the streak alive as they defeat Chase tonight 32-20. East Rutherford defeats East Burke tonight 35-28. Burns comes back in the last minute to defeat Kings Mountain 20-15. Burns has won 39 of their last 47 games. Drone, in their first meeting ever against RS Central, defeats RS Central 28-20. Crest brings a 7-1 record up against TC Roberson tonight and makes it 8-1 as Crest defeats TC Roberson 44-34. Alexander Central defeats St. Stephen's 49-14. It was Statesville over Lexington 35-6. It was Elkin over West Iredale 50-34. South Iredale defeated Salisbury tonight 56-0. South Iredale's defense has only gave up 27 points in 4 games. Maiden defeats South Caldwell 38-14. It was Watauga over Wilkes Central 42-0. Cherryville defeats East Gaston 19-14. And in a non-conference game, Bessemer City over Highland Tech 44-6. It was Thomas Jefferson over Asheville School 28-7. Davison Day over Community School of Davison 45-0. Ravenscroft defeated Pine Lake Prep 57-8. South Point over AC Reynolds 52-35. It was Vance over Hunter Huss 36-14. Lake Norman Charter defeated Village Christian 43-0. And now back to the guys in the studio.
She was pretty, she was smart, she was witty. Yeah, she had charm. Cupid shot me, that's what got me down.
Welcome back to the Marburger post-game show. Marburger Motors in Shelby is your Jeep, Dodge, and Nissan dealer. This is Louis Carpenter along with
Dennis Davis
and
Tom Senafani.
There you go. And we've been talking some football. Dennis, run those numbers one more time, please, sir.
Yeah, well, if you're over in Lincoln, you didn't have a game tonight, but call us anyway, 704-735-8071. You can talk about the Wolves and the Rebels and their big showdown next week.
Absolutely.
If you're in Cherryville, call us and talk to us about that Ironman win. I mean,
Absolutely.
Take the opportunity here. 704-435-3297.
There you go.
And if you're in the Shelby area, now that covers Burns, that covers Shelby, that covers Crest. It's 704-482-1390. That's 704-482-1390.
And we don't have a toll-free number anymore, so we don't have our friends in the American Samoa and the Fiji Islands are just out of luck.
Well,
we got another caller here. Who we got?
Jeff Miller.
Hey, Jeff.
I covered the Huss and Vance game.
Yes.
And tell you what, it started in similar fashion, I guess you can say, as the Kings Mountain Burns game. You know, Vance jumped out to a 15-0 lead. Safety and then 2 touchdowns and a missed PAT. And then Huss stormed right back to make it 15-7 at halftime. And for a while, it was a pretty good game. Vance in the second half advanced early to 22-7. Then Huss answered to make it 22-14. But then they just kind of ran out of gas at the very end of the day, and Vance ran away with a 36-14 win.
How'd the star running back for Hunter? I forget it. What's the star?
Carrion Moore.
Yeah, Carrion Moore. How did he fare tonight?
Most of his yardage came through the air, came on the receiving end of it.
Do they like to use him as a receiver coming out of the backfield, or do they line him at slot or split some? Do they move him around, or what do they do with him?
Well, sometimes I saw him one time, a couple of times be a slot and but most of the time it was like out of the backfield, like on screen passes, or he goes out from the tailback position. Then that's most of the time when he got his hits.
Right.
But
and a lot of teams like to use that in lieu of a running play because it's almost the same thing, isn't it, Lewis? I mean, it's
it
just
is.
I mean, they just swing it out there.
Is.
Get your athlete out there in some space and see what he can do.
Let him have the football.
Jeff, I know you usually call in and talk to us about Forest View. I'm assuming they had a bye this week.
They did.
They did.
But I want to run a couple of facts by you that I think they'll make you very happy, Jeff. I was looking in the Observer area football leaders, and number 2, Bishop Ford, running back. This was prior to this week, of course. He had 60 carries for 544 yards and 4 touchdowns. Then I go on down here to the passing statistics, and I've got Logan Bradley, Forest View, 76 completions, 110 attempts for 936 yards and 11 touchdowns. And then I go over here to receiving, and I've got, is it Marquetti Armstrong? McKelty. He's got 28 receptions for 401 yards and 5 touchdowns. I'm looking down the road, Forest View, South Point. I want to get your take on what you see coming, Jeff.
Well, it's hard to say right now. I mean, Forest View's got the talent, and South Point did give up 35 points to a very good AC Reynolds team.
Yeah.
And I think Forest View is one of the most athletic teams in the area.
I've heard a lot of people say that.
Well, I think what you do to beat South Point now, Lewis, is you beat them 54-53.
Yeah.
And Forest View, from what I'm looking at, Jeff, is capable of running up some big numbers and could give South Point the kind of game that they have trouble with.
Is Forest View undefeated?
No, they got that season opening 57-56 loss to Nation Ford.
That's correct. That's exactly right. That team out of South Carolina, I forgot about that. But I'll tell you what, they're a very good football team, and as Dennis pointed out, they got 3 guys in the top stats here in the area, so they're doing well.
Oh, they're loaded with talent. I mean, and don't forget about Mo Neal.
Yeah,
he's
pretty good little backup running back.
And he's also used in the slot and as a receiver a lot. And there's other weapons, that shall go unnamed right now. But
well, listen, we appreciate the call, and give us a call again next week and talk to us about some football. We enjoy hearing from you.
Hey, no problem. Y'all have a good weekend.
You too. Thanks you.
Jeff.
I got some stats here, Dennis. I was at the Bessemer City game tonight.
Yeah.
Our man over here, Dakota Whitson, got this. He and Philip Gardner came up with these stats. For Highland Tech, they had 9 rushing yards and 25 passing yards. Bessemer City had 82 passing yards and 340 rushing yards for a total of 422. Jakey Adams was 4 for 6, 82 yards, and had a rushing touchdown. Jay Barnett had a rushing touchdown. Cedric Mackey was 16 carries for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Speaking of Cedric, I just want to interrupt you here. Yep. He's one of the rushing leaders in this area.
Yes, he is.
Prior to tonight, he had 443 yards, and you said he had another 100 and something tonight.
118.
So he's over 500 yards.
Yeah, he's doing well. Tyler Best, 14 carries for 127 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Tyquez Lane had 7 carries for 41 yards, and this is compliments of Philip Gardner and Dakota Whitson. We appreciate the information.
And that's a lot of rushing yards, 3 on 3, even though it's against the vaunted Highland Tech front 4. But that's a pretty good night there for Bessemer City. I'd like to see how they do against some of these other 1A teams when they get in that.
I do too. It's going to be interesting when they get into their schedule. Bessemer City honored its 1,000-yard rushers tonight, and and passers also, and there were 2 on there. I think there were only 2 on there that I didn't teach. One of them, Chuck Steele, was in 1966, and Eric Nichols, who is an assistant coach there now, did it in 1979.
Did Kevin Willwood play football at Bristol?
No, he did not. He played
strictly
baseball and basketball.
Okay.
Oh, he was most valuable basketball his senior year in the SD7. But yeah, anyhow, the person I wanted to mention was Philip Crosby. Philip played in '93. He and Norris McCleary, they were on that team that Lincoln beat. Goo White beat them on the last play of the ball game. But anyhow, Philip went on to Tennessee and played over there and got a degree from Tennessee and played on a national championship team. I taught he and his wife both, Lachelle, and I met their beautiful 21-month-old daughter tonight. And they're expecting a little boy, and she's going in Monday, and they're going to induce labor. But Philip, I'm going to tell you people, Philip Crosby is a quality individual, and I got nothing but good things to say about him. He played 2 years in the pros, and if it hadn't been for a knee, he probably would have played some more years. But he is a class act, sure is. Good boy.
Some good things do come out of Bessemer City.
Well, they do. And you know, the thing of it was, I told him early on his junior year, I said, Phil, his grades weren't good. And I said, Philip, you can get a scholarship if you get those grades up. Yeah. I'll tell you what kind of hitter he was on defense. He's the only Bessemer City player ever to make the Shrine Bowl. And I'm telling you, he is a player. But he hit so hard in practice, they'd have to back him out. I mean, they couldn't let him scrimmage first team. It hurt our running back.
We got to have a guys ready for Friday night.
Absolutely. Oh, he was a player. And another one, Shane Whitlock, was there tonight. Shane had over 3,000 yards in his career. He did a great job. But yeah, they've had some kids there. And of course, I spent 20 years over there, so I got most of them. Just like you at Craig.
Wait a minute, hold on. If you were there for 20 years, that meant you had to be there when Woodrow Fish was there.
Let me tell you about that. I was the girls' basketball coach and softball coach, and Harry Woodrow came along and talked me into getting certified in my athletic training. And I was his trainer. I was state certified, never was national certified. But I was his trainer for 3 years. And I'm going to tell you, Woody Fish is a football coach. He is the only football coach in Bessemer City history with a complete winning record. He was there. Hey, that's about the truth now. I'm sorry. Ace Parker might be the exception back in the 50s and 60s. But when Woody came there, they had won one game in 10 years. And the first year, he won 4 football games. He was 4-6. Second year, he was 7-3. Third year, he was 9-2 and went to the second round of the state playoffs. Woody Fish is a football coach.
And he had Gardner Webb in the national championship.
He sure did. He's a fundraiser for Gardner Webb now.
And I want to mention this too. His son Patrick A. Burns, former punter, is now playing at South Carolina. He's holder for the Kickers. But Lewis, I saw a funny thing this week. One of my Gamecock friends posted a picture on there of Woody's son with his name on the back, Fish, standing next to a player named Fry. It was Fish Fry.
That's cool.
Only in South Carolina, folks.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
The year before that, there was actually another guy with the last name Patrick. And, so they had Patrick Fish next to each other and took the picture. So, Pat's kind of got his own little good sense of humor there.
Did you know him well? I've never met him well.
I taught him and I coached him about 3 years in soccer.
And he made it in spite of that.
And he, well, Well, Dennis, we're not going to talk about your record as an educator, but
hey, I taught you.
Yeah.
Oh well, there goes that.
There went that. You shouldn't have said that.
But good kid, good family. This turns into the Woody fish. We always forget about Pam fish.
Exactly.
That's Pam Davis fish.
Yeah. Good influence on Woody.
Oh, no question.
And on Patrick.
Somebody had to tame that.
She's the brains behind that operation.
1980 to 1982, Woody Fish, 19 and 15.
Thank you, sir. Our stat man, Mr. Rhino. I guarantee you, if Terry don't know it, it probably didn't happen.
And Steve's telling us we got to pay some bills, so you're going to have to wait before we talk about that Ravenscroft Pine Lake game.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
We'll be back shortly with the Marburger post-game show.
Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. Those are the powerhouse of vehicles you'll find at Marburger in Shelby. Plus quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And of course, a service department that is second to no one. So when you're in need of another vehicle, see the friendly staff at Marburger. Marburger, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Proud supporters of our local school athletic teams. Jam and Jay's Pizza Factory is Shelby's favorite locally owned family pizza restaurant. Come by and see why. Jam and Jay's features a pizza buffet and salad bar. Jam and Jay's has a fantastic game room. Call for information on birthday parties at 704-600-6182. And now Jam and Jay's has gluten-free pizza. Also on the menu is vegan cheese pizza. Jam and Jay's Pizza Factory, 1011 Grove Street, just off Highway 74 bypassed east, behind the Golden Corral in Shelby. The leaves are falling, so it's a good time to see the good selection of Echo blowers at Shelby Hardware. The Echo PB500 backpack blower is on sale for just $299.99 after a $30 in-store rebate. And the Echo PB755S backpack blower is just $399.99 after a $40 in-store rebate. Your Echo dealer for Shelby and Cleveland County is Shelby Hardware, 506 South Lafayette Street in Shelby.
Now you can shop Standridge Auto Parts on eBay. And be sure to like us on Facebook too. You can shop the big inventory online on Facebook and eBay. And yes, you can pull it or get full service at Standridge Auto Parts in Shelby and Rock Hill. And they buy scrap metal and offer recycling services. Standridge Auto Parts, 234 Porter Road in Rock Hill, 1521 Sulphur Springs Road in Shelby. Both open Monday through Saturday. Visit the website at StandridgeAutoParts.com. Standridge Auto Parts.
New owner, new attitude. That's Forest City Honda, voted the best new car dealer in Rutherford County for the second straight year. And Forest City Honda's Greg Huntley has been named the best car salesperson for the second straight year. Plus, the Honda Dealers of the Carolinas has named the Forest City Honda Service Department the best in the Carolinas by a vote of its customers. Forest City Honda, ready to serve you with the best cars, best service, and the best salespeople. Forest City Honda, Daniel Road, Forest City.
Since 1983, Bill Shuford Heating and Air has been providing dependable service and quality products to the Cleveland County and surrounding area. And the tradition continues today with quality American Standard heating and air conditioning systems. Plus, if you need a repair, Bill Shuford Heating and Air services all brands including Trane. Just call 704-484-0025 for Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby, your American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. It's where your comfort is our concern.
And now scores from our area. Shelby defeated Chase tonight 32-20. The streak remains alive 47-0-1 over Chase. East Rutherford defeated East Burke tonight 35-28. It was Burns scoring in the last minute to defeat Kings Mountain 20-15. And Drone, in their first meeting ever against RS Central, Drone comes out on top 28-20. It was Crest over TC Roberson tonight 44-34. Alexander Central defeated St. Stephen's 49-14. Statesville over Lexington 35-6. It was Elkin over West Iredell 50-34. It was South Iredell 56, Salisbury 0. South Iredell's defense has only gave up 27 points in 4 games. It was Maiden over South Caldwell tonight, 38-14. It was Watauga over Wilkes Central, 42-0. It was Cherryville picking up a win tonight, a huge win over East Gaston. Cherryville 19, East Gaston 14. It was Bessemer City in a non-conference game over Highland Tech, 44-6. It was Thomas Jefferson over Asheville School, 28-7. Davison Day defeated Community School of Davison, 45-0. Ravenscroft defeated Pine Lake Prep 57-8. It was South Point going to 5-0 on the year with a 52-35 win over AC Reynolds. It was Vance defeating Hunter Huss 36-14. It was Lake Norman Charter going to 5-0 with a 43-0 win over Village Christian. It was Black Mountain Owen defeating McDowell tonight 50-33. Butler goes to 3-2 on the year with a 49-32 win over Richmond Senior. Huff High School defeated Independence tonight 28-27. It was Dutch Fork out of South Carolina defeating Dorman tonight 42-39. The number one winning streak in the state of North Carolina remains alive as Northern Guilford defeats Reidsville tonight 34-33. Reidsville goes for 2 and comes up short. Havelock, the number 2 winning streak in North Carolina, goes to 19 games tonight as Havelock defeats Northside Jacksonville 40-15, and the longest losing streak in North Carolina goes to 32 games as West Montgomery defeats Northmore 56-14. And now back to the guys in the studio.
And I'm tired of spending all my time alone.
Welcome back to the Marburger Motors post-game show. Marburger Motors of Shelby is your Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan dealer. This is Lewis Carpenter along with
Dennis Davis
and
Tom Senafani.
And we welcome your calls. Dennis, run the number. Got a caller. Hello. Here we go.
Hey, how are you?
Yes, sir. Who is this?
This is Coach Fox from Cherryville.
All right.
Congratulations,
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Tell us tell us what you did tonight that you had that success. You know that you were in control most of the ball game. We followed that ball game most of the night, and it looked like, you know, you didn't get a big lead, but you had things under control.
Yeah, getting people back healthy. I mean,
yeah,
we've had kids playing out of position,
right,
pretty much all season long. We got banged up from the scrimmages and the first ball game, and since then we've been, you know, adding to our injury list instead of getting healthier.
Well, that's never good.
No.
Yeah, and we just seen we got a couple people back, and we got a couple more cleared this week that will play next week, and
that's great.
So it's you know, starting to come back together a little bit. We really played great defense tonight. Offense, we've had to switch from running the veer to being more of a spread team.
Right.
And, you know, that's been coming along gradually through the last 3 ball games. And, but defense is where we have been really lacking, and we really picked it up with a few guys coming back healthy. And, they played fantastic tonight. They gave us the ball in good field position.
That's great. Did y'all score late to win, or were you in control pretty much the whole way?
We were. It kind of ended in dramatic fashion. We had them 4th and 25, I think, backed up onto their 10, and got a pass interference and brought it back to 4th and 10. And they threw a pass and took it about 75 yards for a touchdown.
Wow.
And got called back for a illegal lineman downfield.
Oh, my.
And so then managed to kind of hang on to the win. Right. We left some points out there.
Coach, did you force 7 turnovers? Do I have that right? Did you force 7 turnovers tonight?
Yeah, we forced 7.
That's a lot.
Tonight we
That's
played
a lot.
very well defensively.
Well, Coach, I just want to say something up front. Now, I've never met you, but I want to point out, you said you had a lot of injuries. And what people don't understand, you're a 1A school.
Yeah.
And you don't have that many kids out. You have to play a lot of kids both ways.
Exactly.
So when you have injuries at your level, it affects your team a whole lot more than it does a big school that has other kids that they can bring in and substitute for some of those guys that are playing. So, like you said, you just been hanging on till you got some kids back.
Coach, I've got a question too. When I was watching y'all scrimmage toward the first of the 4 season started, I met this kid Gage Beam who had a leg injury. Has he ever been able to play?
Yeah, he will be out for the season.
Okay.
He got cleared to come back. He started practice and re-injured. So what we're going to do, he had the option of coming back in 4 weeks, starting last week. But I sat down and I talked it over with him and his dad, and what we're going to do is just go ahead and let that thing heal completely.
That's great.
And get him in the weight room.
I want you.
Ready for next season.
I want you to tell the folks on radio. Describe him.
6'8", scary looking dude, about 315 pounds.
And a sophomore.
Definitely somebody we could use.
And he's a sophomore.
What position does this young man play?
Anywhere he wants to.
Yeah, but
well, now I tell you what, I met him, Coach. He is. I taught his dad at Bessemer City, and I met him that night. He is a real nice guy too. He is a super guy, and I just wondered. But he is. I'm telling you, Dennis. I'm big, but Lord have mercy. Woo, this child is. He is a big youngin'.
Yeah, and academically, he is probably first or second in his class. So,
oh my goodness!
He's a very bright kid that has a bright future, and
yes.
I don't want to jeopardize any type of injury or anything like that.
Absolutely right. Y'all did the right thing. That's the best thing to do.
But
who you got next week, Coach?
Do what?
Who you got next week?
We play Parkwood. It's another school that was 3A last year. They dropped down to 2A. They're out of Monroe.
I started to say that's Monroe.
I'm going to tell you, Coach, watch out for a kid named Sam Mobley. He is a receiver. Prior to this week, he caught 17 passes for 363 yards and 5 touchdowns. Put somebody on him, would you?
Yeah.
We're doing our best. I can promise you that. Like I said, hopefully we get 1 or 2 more back next week, and we continue to progress into our bye week before we start conference.
Right.
And on the other side, you need to block this guy named Trevin Parker. He's got 43 tackles prior to this week, so you got to stop him from throwing the ball, and you got to keep that guy from tackling you guys before you get started. So good luck, Coach.
You play him here or over there?
We play him over there.
Okay. Well, Coach, good luck to you, and I hope you keep this winning streak going and start getting these kids healthy. And we do appreciate you calling, Coach. Call in anytime. Right. We'd love to hear from you. And good luck, and keep on winning them football games.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Well, Lewis, with another coach calling in.
Yes,
I haven't
sir.
heard from Coach Beam, though.
No, we haven't.
Have you got him on your speed dial?
No, I think Coach Beam, as I said, is probably resting comfortably after his heart rate was probably up a good bit. Lewis has got a text message. What we got, Lewis?
No, I got him.
He's
got him on speed dial.
Oh, I've got.
This is the only football show that we'll call you.
I've tried, but I've tried. I respect the coaches. There's sometimes in there.
Well,
they
I am.
Sometimes they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk. Leave them alone.
I know. This is a private conversation over here. Tom, what have you been doing this week?
Well, I tell you what I've been doing this week. I've been gearing up for my KTC Friday nights, and I've been really looking forward to it. I've been coaching a little volleyball.
How about those stats for the county?
Well, I just want to tell you, I've been helping out the girls' volleyball team this year.
Oh, no, you've just been in there staring at the girls. I know you, Tom.
He's
been
dirty
a lot
old
of fun.
man.
He don't want to talk.
I'll tell you. But I've been doing a little bit of that over there, and then I've had some fall baseball. So I was talking about the kid at East Rutherford
That's
earlier.
right, you umpire, don't you?
Right, and the kid from East Rutherford, who was the defensive player of the week from the conference, goes to football practice. Then he goes and plays fall ball.
Yeah.
Kid just loves to play, and I saw
Well,
that
when you're
East
young, you can do that.
Yeah,
kind of
when
thing.
you're right. See that East Rutherford got another win tonight. And we talked about them a little bit earlier. So I'm seeing those East Rutherford kids a lot and umpiring a little baseball. So just keep them busy. And we've been talking a little bit about the stats. You know what I'd like to see is if our the gurus in the newspaper, that being Mr. Ford, Mr. Leonard, and Mr. Wisnant.
Now that's in the Shelby edition.
It's
not
in the
Gastonia
Shelby edition. We see that they all predicted they all predicted it correctly. The Burns, Shelby, and the Crest game. Although the Burns, interestingly enough, we haven't talked much about Crest. I guess they're too busy cutting their cheese and putting it on a cracker just perfectly.
You'll
and
get
having
some
a little
comments for that.
Having a little sip of wine, according to Dennis. That's not me. That's Dennis. But they all thought it was going to be close, Dennis. Look at that. They had one by, Mr. Ford says 4-point game. Mr. Wiston a 3-point game.
Yeah.
Clark Leonard had it by a touchdown, 44-34. A lot of points in that game, Dennis. What do you think?
I think that these gentlemen are very good predictors. They're prognosticators par excellence. They picked the winning team. It doesn't matter by how many. They did good. And I'm not going to get in trouble with Alan or Clark or Gabe because they're all my friends.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Let me call out some games next week, and you two prognosticate.
Oh,
you
dear.
got Hunter Huss at North Gaston.
I'm going to tell you, Lewis, I've been impressed with North Gaston running that version of the Red
Yes,
Bone.
sir.
I think they can give Karan Moore and the Huskies a game. I'm going to predict North Gaston.
What do you think, Tom?
I just don't think Hunter Huss has enough guys to last the whole game. It's just like when Joel called in tonight, a lot of games have been close early, and then it seems like the other teams pull away. Right. Seems like that maybe they don't have enough guys to put 4 quarters and challenge an up-and-coming team like a North Gaston.
All right, Shelby at Kings Mountain. Put you on the line. Now, you talk about slobber knocker. That's going to be a double slobber.
What I saw when Kings Mountain tonight had a gut check gives me reason to believe that game next week is going to be close. Based on what I've seen prior to tonight, I'd said Shelby by 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say Shelby by slightly.
Tom,
well, it depends on if the Kings Mountain guys have a little Rocky Balboa in them because they really got knocked down there.
They sure did.
That's tough. That's tough. That's tough.
I don't know what Dennis is doing, but
it's getting late.
We'll give him a shot here.
I say Shelby by 3 touchdowns.
Here's the one I'm interested in to see what you think. Lincolnton at West Lincoln.
Terry, I defer to you on that one. The Terry Reinhardt prediction is, drum roll,
West Lincoln by 4. Dennis, what do you think?
I'm going with Terry.
All right. Tom?
I think West Lincoln is due, but Lincoln is going to beat him anyway.
Oh,
yeah! I tell you what, but this one is going to be a good football game.
It will be a good game.
All right, and we've got let's see, we got Highland Tech at South Lake Christian. We know who's going to win that.
They're going to throw the Christians to the Lions.
I think Bessemer City's open next week. Burns has got East Burke at East Burke. What do you think?
East Burke, let's see what they did tonight up there, Tom.
East Rutherford beat him 35-28.
Burns.
Okay. Tom?
Well, I think Burns should have a pretty easy game here, but I thought that against Kings Mountain. I like Burns in this game. I do not want to be at Matt Beam's practice on Monday. I guarantee you that. But I think they'll get straight. And this might have been their wake-up call, and they got off cheap because they got a wake-up call and they won the game.
Yep.
So I like Burns.
All right, Cherville at Parkwood.
Coach called tonight. I'm going to go with Cherville Ironmen for 2 in a row.
What do you think?
Okay, I like the Cherville Ironman again, and I want to remind everybody what's going to be broadcast. Our Gaston County Game of the Week is going to be East Gaston at South Point. I like South Point big in that game. I figure you guys do too. But that's the game of the week. We will be broadcasting on 1590. Cherryville at Parkwood. Isn't that over there in Monroe?
It is in Monroe.
To go.
Yeah.
I used to work with a guy over there who was graduated over there. That's why I know where it's at. And then on WLON, Big Old Country 1050, we've got Lincoln at West Lincoln. So if you can't make it out to the game, you can listen right here on WLON. We'll have all the action for you. So please tune in if you can't make it.
Got two more here I'm curious about. East Lincoln is at Bandy's, and Crest is at RS Central.
I'm going to make it easy for you, Lewis. East Lincoln, because they've got a nice-looking helmet here, they're going to win. And Crest is at RS, and they call them the Hilltoppers because that's what you do. When you go up there, it's all downhill.
Well, I real feel sorry for the RS Central Hilltoppers next week. They just don't have the athletes to compete with Crest. It's going to be a blowout. The good thing, a lot of the Crest backups are going to get some playing time.
Shelby Kings Mountain, we've already talked about South Point, North Lincoln, and South Iredell.
Just a minute, Lewis. I've got to get my
excuse me, South Iredell at North Lincoln.
Head South Iredell.
I like, you know what?
North Lincoln.
I like North Lincoln because my buddy David Minnick's over there coaching, and I think he's going to come up. He's not the head coach, but I think he's going to give them the edge they need, Dennis.
There you go.
Forest View has got Lincoln Charter at home. Lake Norman Charter,
Lake Norman Charter?
Lake Norman Charter, excuse me.
Is that the team that we've referred to in the past?
Yes, we have, and I like any Gaston County school team over any charter school team in the state, in the nation.
Especially Forest View.
Even East Gaston.
We got a late caller, excuse me.
All right, who we got?
This is JQ Boykins.
Hey, JT! What's happening, my man?
Nothing much.
The Reverend JT.
Is that you, JQ?
Yes, sir.
JQ's calling in. JQ helped make a man out of me in high school because he used to beat me up in weight training all the time. Remember that, JQ? How you doing, man?
This is Will Boykins' older
brother, my age.
But he's better looking than Will.
Yeah, that's not saying a lot.
The reason why I call him, I just want to know why former Crest Charger talking up Burns so much.
Well, hey, cause no Crest people call. You're the only Crest person that's called tonight. JQ, you get the Crest Charger Award. You hear the whistle blowing for you? That's just to let you know how much we appreciate the Chargers calling in.
You're the only Crest person that's called us all night.
And you know, JQ, I've been over there at Burns for 17 years now. So
traitor.
Dennis is calling me a traitor. But. I'm in contact with Burns. It's a great place to be, and I'm just proud of those Burns Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs got it going on, JQ, and I tell you what, I laid down some smack on the Chargers tonight. I said that we were acting like a wine and cheese crowd, and people over at Burns is crazy. They're crazy. They're up and shouting and calling one another.
JQ, does anybody in Boiling Springs eat cheese and drink wine? Does anybody even do that in Boiling Springs?
It may be Night Train and American cheese.
I don't think so. But JQ, did you make it out to the game tonight? Did you see the Crest game?
No, I didn't get to see my son played for Shelby, but I was still a Crest Charger at heart. And that's the reason why I was calling.
JP, we're going to have to get off of here. Steve says we got a couple minutes and we got to close this thing down. We appreciate you calling. Call us back next week a little bit earlier.
At least one Charger call. JQ, thank you, man.
Thank you, son.
Thank you. See
appreciate
you
it. All right, friends, we've got about a minute and a half left. Dennis, do you have any final comments, dissertations, or other interesting proposals?
Lewis, the Cleveland County Fair is next week.
Absolutely.
And there will be a bunch of people that miss out on a great Friday night football game.
Absolutely.
Because they're going to the county fair. Folks, the fair is 10 days. You can go there anytime.
That's right.
You can go to a football game only on Friday night unless you go to a JV game. My recommendation, forget about the goat roping contest and go watch the Bulldogs or the Chargers or the Ironmen or somebody that's worth your time and money. Tommy?
Tom, what do you think?
Come to the water wheel some other time. Go to the football
They've done
games.
away with the paging booth.
Yeah.
And so
I'm going to tell you something else, too. We've talked about this 15,000 times. These kids need your support.
Yeah.
Not only the football team, but the cheerleading squad and the band. People, if you've never been around these people, you don't realize how hard they work.
Yeah.
I mean, they practice in the mornings. I've been at school, been at Bessemer City at 6:30 in the morning, and the cheerleaders are out there and the band's on the football field. And then they're there again at 4:30 in the afternoon. Support your local school, people, and go out. Surely you can find something you like.
Your
Steve
local
Roberts,
public
report
schools.
to the water wheel. Steve Roberts, report to the water wheel.
Support your local public schools.
There you go.
Lewis, we'll be back when?
We'll be back next week with the Marburger post-game show.
If,
good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.